The town of Blarney, about 5 miles northwest from Cork city centre. Even when this film was shot in the 1940s, the place was well known all over the world for its castle and for its gift of the gab stone. It was also known for a particular fragrant flower. It's hard to believe that 37 years have passed since myself, dressed in an unfortunate red jumper, and a few friends sang the Blarney Roses at the Cross Keys Inn in Tombridge in County Antrim. The performance was included in the Ulster television programme Shamrock, Rose and Thistle, broadcast in March 1987.
She left me sorely stranded, not a coin she left, you know. She told me she belonged to where the Blarney Roses grow. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? Some say down in Limerick town, and more say in Mayo. Somewhere in the Emerald Isle, of this I'd like to know. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney...
I remember well learning that song from Danny Doyle's 1981 album, The Highwayman. In the sleeve notes, Danny said that he had learned the song from Paddy Brown while playing a gig in Mick McCarthy's pub in the Dublin Mountains. But he did not say who wrote it. I only recently discovered that the words of the Blarney Roses were composed by a Scotsman, Alexander or Alec Melville, and were set to an old melody by fellow Scot David Frame Flint. Though the song scanned and rhymed well, it could be justifiably described as another Irish map song, in that it randomly name-checked towns and villages on the island of Ireland. Alec Melville and David Frame Flint spent most of their adult lives plying their trade in Glasgow, Melville co-writing music hall songs with various musicians, and Flint dividing his time between scoring music for lyricists and working as an organist at Hillhead Congregational Church. Flint also became president of the Glasgow Society of Organists.
It's all of a spree that I'm going to prattle, but next to fill in with some curious cattle.
In the early 1900s, Alec Melville wrote a number of comic ditties for and with the Scottish entertainer Harry Lauder. Their collaborations, such as Hey Donal and The Wedding of Lochie McGraw, made Lauder, but not Melville, a household name. Peter Dawson, an Australian tenor based in London, recorded the Blarney Roses in 1917 for the Zonophone label, and the tenor George O'Brien recorded it in 1926 in New Jersey for the Victor label. Let's have a quick listen to O'Brien's performance.
Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? It may be down in Limerick town or over in Mayo.
Unfortunately, the men who wrote the song would not live to see the day when it would become popular in Britain and in Ireland. In the spring of 1929, David Frame Flint and Alec Melville both fell victim to pneumonia, which was sweeping through Glasgow like a plague. Flint died aged 53 on the 14th of February at his home in Huntly Gardens, and 73-year-old Melville died a few weeks later on the 18th of March at Stobel Hospital in Glasgow. Newspapers in Scotland merely noted the passing of Flint and chose instead to dedicate much of their time delving into the life and times of Alec Melville. Under such headlines as "Songwriter Dies in Poverty," "Died Penniless," and "He Made Harry Lauder," they recounted the details of a tragic life, of a man of no fixed abode who had sold many of his songs for a 10-shilling note. The Aberdeen Press had this to say: Melville had a genius for songwriting, but he lacked the capacity to turn his faculty to the best possible advantage, and he lived a life of poverty, his usual abode being a model lodging house. A happy ballad, a sombre tale. And so ends the story of the Blarney Roses. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? Some say down in Limerick town and more say in Mayo. It's somewhere in the Emerald Isle, this I'd like to know. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? 'Twas over in old Ireland near the town of Cushendall. One morning met a damsel there, the fairest of them all. 'Twas by my young affections and my money she did go. She told me she belonged to where the Blarney Roses grow. Her cheeks were like the roses, her hair a raven hue. Before that she had done with me, she had me raven too. She left me sorely stranded, not a coin she left, you know. She told me she belonged to where the Blarney Roses grow. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? Some say down in Limerick town and more say in Mayo. Somewhere in the Emerald Isle, this I'd like to know. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? They've roses in Killarney and the same in County Clare. But upon my word, those roses, boys, you can't see anywhere. She blarneyed me, and by the power she left me broke, you know. This damsel that belonged to where the Blarney Roses grow. A cush le gram a cream, boy, she murmured soft did she. If you belong to Ireland, it yourself belongs to me. Or Donegal, come on, you brogue, it captured me, you know. Bad luck to her, and that's in place where the Blarney Roses grow. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow? Some say down in Limerick town and more say in Mayo. Somewhere in the Emerald Isle, this I'd like to know. Can anybody tell me where the Blarney Roses grow?